Who I believe to be the true birthers of choosing beggars, it's entitled parents. Our first one is from Narenge is my name. This is about my own wedding and how an entitled mom nearly turned it into her personal circus. For some background, my fiance, now husband, and I planned our wedding for over a year. We wanted something small yet elegant, with close family and friends. My husband's family is pretty down to earth, except for his aunt, EM, known for her over-the-top behavior and entitlement. Everything was going smoothly until the week before the wedding. Entitled mom called and demanded that we include her 6-year-old daughter, my husband's cousin, as a flower girl. We already had 2 flower girls, my nieces, who were thrilled about it. I politely declined, explaining that arrangements were already made. Entitled mom didn't take this well. She started a tirade about how her daughter was being excluded unfairly and how we were ruining her child's self-esteem. I tried to stay calm, but she was relentless. I had thought that was the end of it, but oh, was I wrong. On our wedding day, entitled mom showed up with her daughter dressed in a full-blown white, frilly flower girl dress. She marched up to me, demanding that her daughter be included in the ceremony. I was flabbergasted. My husband and I, along with our wedding planner, tried to reason with her, but she caused a huge scene, saying things like, "How could you be so selfish on your wedding day?" and "You're destroying a little girl's dream." My usually quiet mother-in-law had had enough. She stepped in and told entitled mom in no uncertain terms that this was our day, not hers or her daughter's. She said that if entitled mom couldn't respect our wishes, they would have to leave. Entitled mom was shocked. She tried to argue, but other family members, who were equally fed up with her antics, supported my mother-in-law's stance. Realizing she was outnumbered, entitled mom left in a huff, her daughter in tow. The rest of the wedding went off without a hitch, and everyone had a great time. We heard through the grapevine that entitled mom complained about us to anyone who would listen, but most of the family knew her history and took it with a grain of salt. I'm grateful for my amazing in-laws who stood up for us, boosting my confidence in our marriage's success even more. I won't lie, that actually puts a smile on my face to see that the in-laws are actually standing up for the in-law. It's usually the family sticking up for family and then in-laws be damned, but that's fantastic. I really wish you luck and success in that marriage. This next one is also by Narenge is my name. I work in the city and usually take the bus home. As anyone who commutes knows, these buses can get packed, especially during rush hour. On this particular day, I managed to snag a seat, which felt like winning the lottery after a long day at work. I had my earbuds in and was half asleep, lost in my music. A few stops into my ride, entitled mom and her son, who looked to be about 10 years old, got on the bus. It was clear from the get-go that there were no seats available, but that didn't stop entitled mom from scanning the bus like she was on a mission. She locked eyes with me and beelined in my direction. Entitled mom, in a tone that was more demanding than polite, said, "Excuse me, can you let my son sit down? He's really tired from his day and needs to sit." I was surprised she singled me out since there were other people, some elderly, standing as well. I was about to respond, maybe even stand up, despite feeling exhausted myself, when a woman standing nearby, I'll call her helpful lady, spoke up. Helpful lady said in a kind but firm tone, "Ma'am, it's not right to single out someone for their seat. We're all tired after a long day. Perhaps your son can manage standing for a bit." Entitled mom's face turned a shade of red. She responded, "But he's just a child, and children need to sit. It's common courtesy." The bus was unusually silent, with everyone seemingly tuned into our conversation. Helpful lady, undeterred, replied, "I understand, but so do the elderly, the disabled, and those who have had long days at work. We can't expect others to always give up their comfort for us. It's a valuable lesson in consideration and patience. Entitled Mom looked ready to argue more, but seemed to realize the bus audience wasn't on her side. She muttered something under her breath about rude people and moved slightly away, still standing. The rest of the ride was uneventful, but the atmosphere felt a bit charged. When my stop arrived, I got up, and as I passed Helpful Lady, she gave me a small smile and a nod, as if to say, "You did the right thing." I nodded back in gratitude, feeling relieved but also a bit surprised at how the situation unfolded. I can almost guarantee everybody on that bus saw Entitled Mom for the bullshit she was trying to pull, and it probably wasn't gonna fly regardless. And at the end of the day, a child doesn't need to sit. If anybody needs to sit, it's a lady, or the elderly. Children can stand. And our final one is from No Note 9960. I work for an airline and we get free flight privileges to extend to our parents, including step-parents and in-laws. But I don't particularly like my stepmother, or know her very well. For context, my mother died a few years ago and my dad remarried recently. Thus, I don't want to extend the privilege to her. However, my father is upset. For context, I know he's upset because we get one friend to add, and my dad mentioned adding her as the friend, to which I told him I decide who that one friend is and that I might give it to someone else. He got upset because he says it costs him money because he covers her costs and that granting the friend pass should be automatic because it helps him. For context, she doesn't make much money and my dad provides for her mostly, especially for vacations. He went on to say that because he paid for my college tuition, room and board, provided me with a car, and gave me $20,000 in my savings account, that I should return the favor by giving her the flight pass because it helps him save money. He feels that it's unfair if he gets it free and she has to pay. He went on to say that he would refuse free flights if I don't grant it to her. I responded by saying I don't support the marriage and don't like her, to which he said that I don't have the authority to dictate the marriage. I responded back by saying that he doesn't get to decide who I grant the flight privileges to. I told him that with this kind of behavior, I might not even grant him the pass since entitled behavior might get me in trouble. He got more upset and said I was being disrespectful towards him because I shouldn't use his behavior towards me as an indication of him at the airport. He went on to say that he'll refuse the privilege because of my disrespect. He went on to proclaim that not granting the flight pass to her is essentially declaring to the whole world that I don't like her. I told him that I don't trust her enough to take responsibility for her. He said that he will take responsibility for her, but that's not how it works as the employee, me, takes responsibility. I said that it's his right to marry her, but it's also his responsibility. I think he's being entitled. I especially don't like the fact that he is imposing her as a priority guest against my will. He has made threats of withholding my last semester's tuition and taking the car back. Thus, I'm really uncomfortable. I can't really tell if we're dealing with an entitled parent or an entitled baby. I mean, the actions scream childish, especially threatening to take things back that you've already committed to doing for your child because they won't do something for your wife. I don't know. I feel like the kids should always come first. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled Parents. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.